Now there is a pollster called, I guess, Leger360. I don't know if they're from France or where they're located or what they do, but they've released the 2024 National Republican primary. They had a poll. They had done one previously for both the Republican and Democrat Party, actually. So they have one 2024 National Republican primary. And the results it comes away with is interesting, okay? So it has Trump at 25%, Romney at 19, Pence at 14, Haley at 9, that's Nikki Haley, Ted Cruz at 8, Kasich at 8, Rubio at 7, Carlson at 5, Pompeo at 2, Tim Scott at 2, and Santorum, Rick Santorum at 1%. So this is with Trump in there. Trump is leading the Republican primary right now as it stands, which is not surprising. He's the incumbent, but more importantly than that, there's at least like 30% of the Republican electorate in the primary that'll 100% no matter what be Trump zombies. So this definitely makes sense. Now, what happened last time was there was a ton of candidates and they couldn't really coalesce. The Republican establishment couldn't really coalesce around anybody to take down Trump because the second guy in line was Cruz, and they hated Cruz just as much as they hated Trump. So they didn't really do what the Democrats did with Biden this time around. And I do believe that if they did do that, they would have been able to take Trump down, but they didn't do that. Now they have Romney at 19, which is kind of bizarre. I don't know. Pence being at 14, I don't buy at all. The fact that Pence would be at 14 is pretty insane. I guess I don't know what the Republican mind is like. John Kasich being at 8 is pretty hilarious as well. Now, what's interesting is they also did one without Trump. This is the poll without Trump in it. It has Pence at 26, Romney at 22, Cruz at 12, Nikki Haley at 11, John Kasich at 9, almost said Ricky Rubio, too much NBA free agency. Marco Rubio 7%, Tucker Carlson 5%, Mike Pompeo 4, Rick Scott 3, and Santorum 2. So, there's going to be a lot of candidates. I definitely thought that, Rubio, Cruz, Ben Carson, I thought these are all people that were going to run again, and maybe even like a Chris Christie would jump in the race. And yeah, Tucker Carlson, I could definitely see Tucker Carlson being the nominee. If Trump doesn't run in 2024, there's a decent chance Tucker Carlson could really be the front runner and the nominee. Tucker Carlson could really be a sort of offshoot of Donald Trump, and Carlson can fool a lot of people into being like the fake populist, the faux populist, and so that might be a direction that the Republicans decide to go in. We don't really know. The Republicans could kind of go back in their corporate neocon direction, where you're picking people, like your Ted Cruz's or your Marco Rubio's or whoever, or you can go in the direction of let's go like fake populist, like hardcore fascist realm, like Tucker Carlson or Donald Trump, folks like that. Tom Cotton is another one that might run in 2024. We're not sure just yet. I definitely don't think Mitt Romney is really ranking that high. I question this poll quite a bit that has Romney at 22. I feel like Republicans don't even really like Mitt Romney anymore, if they ever really did. I mean, obviously they chose him in 2012, right? I think it'll be interesting to see how this pans out, man. Kasich is going to go absolutely nowhere. The people who I really think are real like contenders, Carlson, Trump if he decides to run, maybe Pence if he tries to run. I'm not going to say Pence because, I mean, like typically if you're the VP, it does kind of give you a really good shot, You're associated with Trump, so it might help. So I'll throw Pence in there just because he's that. I mean, these polls are going to be really biased in favor of the incumbent president because the polls are happening in November 17th of 2020 when the voting is going to take place in 2024, right? So that's obviously why that is. So I'm going to say I'll throw in Pence there. Pence, Tucker Carlson. I will throw Ted Cruz in there as a possibility. Nikki Haley I'm not going to rule out either. So there are definitely some options there that, I think are real contenders to really truly be able to win this election in 2024 for the Republican primary. But I do believe, honestly, if Trump runs in 2024, I do give him like a 70% chance of winning the Republican primary. Just because he has the zombies, man. He's got those zombies that will never leave him. They will always hold on to him, So I just have that going for Trump for that reason. I have it going for Trump for that reason. I don't think he'd be able to win the general, but again, Trump winning really heavily is determined based on whether or not these candidates can coalesce around one person. Because as you can see, there's a lot of vote splitting going on here. So if there's like coalescing among certain groups, they could take down Trump. But I'm not sure if they're going to do that or not. But it'll be interesting to see in 2024. It's really fascinating to see what's going to happen in 2024, man. It gets me really excited just to think about, the questions, and the unknowns. Really exciting.